So today we're treating writing clean code. So style guides for JavaScript. A JavaScript style guide is a set of standards that tells how JavaScript code should be written and organized. In this section, we'll talk about JavaScript guides and how to write clean code. So JavaScript is a programming language, and like human language, it has its syntax. The syntax of JavaScript has to be written following a certain style guideline for sake of convenience. This should be convenience and simplicity. So we need style guides because we work in groups, and we need things to be standardized among everybody. Yeah, so that everyone that looks at the code can easily understand what is going on, especially the superiors that will be reviewing the code and are in charge of merging it to the main branch, stuff like that. So each team can develop their own guidelines or conventions, or they can adopt well-developed guidelines. So these are the common guidelines that we have. There's Airbnb's JavaScript style guides, JavaScript standard style guides, Google JavaScript standard style guide. So Airbnb has one of the most popular style guides on the internet. It covers nearly every aspect of JavaScript as well, and is adopted by many developers and companies. You can go here to check it out. The style is very simple and easy to understand. So the standard JavaScript style guide, as expected, is not as popular as Airbnb, but is what to look at. Apparently, they removed the semicolon in their style guide. And then there's Google JavaScript style guides. He didn't have much to say about it. And he doesn't use it very well. I guess he uses Airbnb. That's nice. Anyway, you can check them out from this link. So in this challenge, we also use the general JavaScript coding writing conventions and guides. Coding conventions are style guidelines for programming developed by an individual team or company. So these are just some uses, some benefits of coding conventions. To write clean code, improve code readability, improve reusability and maintainability. So that means these conventions don't just, they are not just about syntax. They're about little ways you can write your code that would also improve reusability and maintainability. Because these two are not just about, how you structure your code. Like you're writing a for loop where, how are your indentations, that kind of thing. These ones are more of, I've forgotten the abbreviation. There was this abbreviation I saw one time about React code. That's completely skipped my mind. Anyhow, so some of the things they talked about were, trying to make sure you break down your code into components, small components, not having a big bunch of things everywhere. So like in a form, for example, you'd have an input component, a button component, stuff like that. Instead of just having the form and the whole code will just be in there. Yeah. And also stuff like if you're creating a button, you should, or creating components like inputs and buttons, you shouldn't just put in the props you want to use. You should also pass in the default props for those elements, like default props for input and default prop for the general button elements. Tiny little things like that. These are things that help your code to be nice, so that one day if somebody wants to use your button component and put some crazy, I don't know, event listener that you didn't think about when you were building it, they can still ride ahead because your component is also still expecting the regular button, attributes or props. Yeah. So those are also filed under conventions. There's this nice one I heard some time ago. You know, sometimes when you're coding, let's say you are doing something with time and you're using 100 seconds. I can't think of a reason right now why you want to use 100 seconds, but that's just it. You know, to solve the challenge you are doing, you need to do something with 100 seconds. So at some points in your code, yeah, you could just use the 100 like that without really giving a reason for why that 100 exists. They call that, the place where I saw it, they called it magic number. A number where an, well, let me just call it a stranger. I can't think of the right word now. A stranger looking at the code, it's the number is just like, or the value, the variable is just like magic to the person. Like why this number? Why this particular value? Why 100? Yeah, it's a magic number because it's pulled out of thin air. So they were like, no magic numbers, don't use magic numbers. So instead, create a variable. Call that in, I don't know, maybe time it takes to go around. Time it takes the ball to go around equal to 100. So anytime you want to multiply or divide by 100, you instead divide by time it takes the ball to go around. You know, stuff like that. Also, these conventions about naming functions and variables. How they say, um, give it a name that somebody will see and kind of understand the purpose for this function or variable. Those things also fall under coding conventions. Okay, yeah, we even have a few self. Coding conventions include naming and declaration rules for variables, same thing for functions, rules for the use of white space, indentation, and comments. Yeah, so white space, it looks like it's not a problem, but man, it is. So like this one, like this now, this should be 4. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is 4. Some places use 2. So that means uh, this would look like this. Just a moment, please. Hi guys, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Aha.
Well,
So so some places use 2 as their, I don't know, indentation standard. So it would look like this, and this is 4. And, it doesn't look like much of a difference, but it actually later on it's quite something. It's quite something. Anyway, so conventions used in 30 days of JavaScript. So in this challenge, we follow the regular JavaScript convention, but I added also my preference of writing. Yeah, we use camel case for variables and functions. Okay, that's true. We don't have a day 20. Okay, so regular variables, something like um, const name is equal to view. And then let me say we have some random constant we want to use to store, a special value. Like those would be magic numbers. So we could call it, let me say, yeah, something like this. Yeah, 1. 1 hour in seconds. And this would be, I'm curious now, why is this thing giving me this error? So 1 hour in seconds would be 60 times 60. Yeah, it's just 60 times 60. Oh, this is 0, not O. Sorry. Yeah, so those kind of constants, this is how to go about it. So all caps and then separated with underscores. So all variable names start with the letter. I think this one is just JavaScript on style. We choose to use const for constants, arrays, objects, functions. You could use var, but we just have reasons we don't like to use var. Instead of double quotes, we use single quotes or backtick. Yeah, this single quotes is really becoming trendy. A lot of places, they set their formatters and linters to make sure that instead of using double quotes like this, people use single quotes. Well, it's up to whatever person is setting things up. So we also remove semicolons from their code. I would advise you not to do that. A lot of places that are using linters, they like the semicolons. So start getting used to it. Space around arithmetic operators. Yeah. Assignment operators and after commas. So just like this, these spaces. Obviously you can still do this and it's valid JavaScript. But conventions make us to use it like this. And the semicolons, the spaces here like this. In fact, I think that space makes a difference sometimes. Let me try something. There's something I saw sometime. We get objects. And how about this? Or was it minus? Was it the other way around? No, I think it was object first. I've forgotten what that thing is, but I know there's one of these situations, one of these, those weird, you don't know JavaScript kind of tricky stuff. There's one that the space makes a difference. I've forgotten it. Another time. One day to come back to my mind. So arrow function instead of function declaration. This one is tricky because there are lots of situations where you would want to you still need this. But true, mostly people use arrow functions these days. The reason why people use function declarations sometimes is so that they can write the main function on top, like say const and then maybe inside call sub func one, sub func two. Do all they want to do, and then later on down below, they now start describing those functions. So function sub func one is like this, and the other one is like that. Yeah, that's really mostly the main reason I see people using function declaration. If not, most of the time they go with arrow functions. So we understand why this works, right? Why we describe subfunc 1 down here, but we are using it up here. And everything is all right in the world. Is anybody confused about that?
No.
I'm sorry, another incoming call. Yes, I'm back again. So I was asking, is anybody confused as to why we describe a function below, but we're using the function above and it's working? Okay, let's add some things to make it work well. Uh, Forgetting this thing. Okay, and this one is just going to, okay, down here we have, say maybe return var A plus var B. And in fact, we're even going to call this here. So this one is just going to return, somebody give me a number, please.
7.
17.
7. Another person said 17. Why are you guys liking 7?
It's a lucky number.
A lucky number. That's okay. So yeah, you can see this. We have function sub func 1 down here, returning 7. And it's being used up here. And it's working well because we see main func giving us 24. So why is this working? Why is this happening? How is it that we are describing a function below where we are using the function and JavaScript is not crying? Yes, you see people I'm asking now, so I'm waiting for somebody to answer.
Sorry, what's the question again?
We are describing subfunc 1 down here on line 17, but we're using it on line 10 before it was created.
Yeah.
But it's working. JavaScript is not crying. Everything is working smoothly. Why is that happening?
Because there isn't the function declaration.
So what is happening that is making it work like that? What's the term?
Is it
What's
hoisting?
Yes, hoisting. That's the word I've been looking for. So hoisting, that is the main advantage. The main advantage of function declarations. Part of why people still like to use them. Another reason people like to use function declarations is because they maintain this. How do I put this? In objects, I think const obj is equal to, yeah, so we have name. Let me say GU again. And then we have get name. Return this dot name. And then we have another get name. Or let's call it get name again. This one will be like this. Return this dot name. Obj dot get name arrow obj dot get name arrow. Yes, so this is another reason why people like to use function declarations, because you can see it maintains this, it maintains the value of, or the context, whatever you want to call it, of this. So here we use this dot get name and we got give, but over here it becomes, I think, does it? I remember, so yeah, it doesn't even, it doesn't have any concept of this. Let me see. There's already name globally, and there's name in this place in the object. There's name inside the function. It's not getting any of them. So that's two downsides of arrow functions. They don't get hoisted, and they don't have that concept of this. This doesn't work in arrow functions. So anyway, that's that. Explicit return instead of implicit return if the function is one-liner. So I think we also get this one well, right? So something like, yeah, that's good. This was a good chance for that. This is an arrow function, and it's returning this dot name. So I was not behaving normal over here. This is what I should have done instead. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So because it's a one-liner, I'm just returning one thing, and it's not that long. So, one-liner, explicit return. What else? No trailing comma in the last value of object. Once again, this one is subject to your team setup, but true. In most places, like this is the last item in an object. It's discouraged to have this trailing comma. If it were an array, same thing too. No array here. Okay, even if it's this array self, you have 1, 2, no trailing comma, something like that. Okay, so yeah, using these short forms instead of the longer ones. You know, like this plus equals. So for example, saying, do we have any number? No number. Okay, no, we have name, but it's a const, not let. So no wahala. Let's say let num be equal to 7 because it's a lucky number, right? Uh, and we do num plus equals 17. That's also another lucky number apparently. So we favor this over doing num plus, sorry, num is equal to num plus 17. These two lines do the exact same thing, but we just favor this one. It looks nicer in the eyes. Everybody understands this. In fact, if you ask me, this one is harder to understand than this one. It's weird, but that's just life. Okay, when we use console log, it's good to print with a tag string to identify. Yeah, this is very, very important because a lot of times when you write your code, especially if you're using frameworks like JS, they get compiled into something else. So at the end of the day, you're not going to see, let's say so and so.js line 34. No, you're going to see app.js line 2000 and something or 20,000 and something. So you have no idea where that thing is coming from, where that console log is coming from. So if you don't put something to identify it, personally, I like to use objects. So something like this. If the property name I'll give the thing I'm trying to get will tell me where it's coming from. But you could also, something like console.log. Yeah, obj.get name, like this. And generally, you're not supposed to get it in an array like this. It's just supposed to be a straight up string, like function declaration, colon, space, and then give, something like that. I don't know why Quokka is suddenly giving it in an array. It shouldn't be in an array. But yeah, identifiers for your console logs is very important. So yeah, they just have this for variables, all the stuff we talked about. Arrays, yeah, this is also nice, we choose to make array names plural. So if you have an array of fruits, you call it fruits and not fruit. Functions, like Mexi was saying, a lot of times there are verbs like do something, print full name. Sometimes they can, anyhow, well, as long as it makes sense for what you're trying to do. Show date time. You could also have a function that checks maybe if a form is valid, where you pass in probably the ID of the form and it checks if it's valid. So maybe you could, your function name could be something like form is valid. So later on, if you're using it, you could use it in an if statement, like if form is valid, blah blah blah. It just looks like a sentence. Everything flows well, something like that. Okay, this wasn't really saying anything much. Loops. We've covered a lot of loops. Okay, I think this is just about how to structure the loops, but we're already doing something like that already. We already do like this whenever we're trying to loop anyway. So yeah, objects, arrays are usually declared with const. Even regular variables are declared with const unless we know that they're going to change later on. So once again, people that set up linters, that check is usually very common. If you describe create any variable with let, and it doesn't see you change the value of that variable later, to throw an error or a warning, depending on how it's set up. Conditionals, yeah, this is generally, at least for the code classes I've been teaching, this is generally how it goes. If something, the space, these little spaces, yeah, that's generally the convention we've been following for switch. Yeah, just like this. Ternary. Yeah, this ternary on, I think it's because this one is long, that it's broken down, like this. If it was something shorter, it would not break it down like into 3 lines. So maybe it's raining question mark A colon B. That's 1 line. But because this one was long, it broke it down. Classes, yeah, classes are camel case, but they start with capital letters. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So finally, we can get to the good part, which is linters. Trying to set up a linter, ESLint and Prettier for Vanilla.js. So I'm looking for setting up ESLint and Prettier for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That's true. Yes, in case you're not aware, if you're using Vanilla.js, you find out you'll have a little problem trying to use NPM modules. Yeah, because you can't import. It's crazy, but you're trying to import NPM modules into Vanilla.js just like that doesn't work. So I found that out recently. I had always taken it for granted because by the time I started interacting with NPM modules, I was doing React. So I took that for granted. Like I've said it sometime earlier. There are some things we do in React that we take for granted that is just normal. It happens everywhere. But that Webpack or whatever bundler that comes with the framework we're using is what's making all that happen. So I tried to use NPM modules on Vanilla.js and got bounced. So I later discovered it was either go through some very long processes or simply use Webpack to bundle it. Webpack was very easy to set up, apparently, surprisingly. And that's what helped. So let's see this one. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling down very fast. I'm just trying to see if this tutorial is for, regular Vanilla.js or it's for some kind of okay. I think this is vanilla. Not seeing any. Yeah, I think this is vanilla. Okay, they have a React setup below, so we can look at this one. So let me drop this link. Maybe you guys might find it useful. All right, so I don't know. Let's try it from the beginning. Create what do we call this? ESLint test. So let's just have index.html. A lot of things are still starting up. It's not responding yet. Okay. What's the last one? Box sizing. Yeah, so this is a basic. Let's add linking. I don't know. I like to add these dot slash. It's up to whoever is doing it, yeah. We call this vanilla formatter. Vanilla. So yeah, just something regular like this. So let's try following the prompts they have. VS Code settings. I don't really like to do VS Code settings. Okay, ESLint and Prettier are pretty much the two most popular tools when it comes to doing code analysis and formatting in a developer's code base. They're extremely good at what they do, which is why they tend to be an essential part of a project setup. The difference between the two is that ESLint is usually responsible for finding and reporting on different patterns inside of ECMAScript or JavaScript code. ESLint is designed to work with JavaScript files only, and is very successful when it comes to ensuring that the code base is consistent without notable bugs. Prettier, on the other hand, is an opinionated code formatter. Unlike ESLint, it supports a variety of languages like JavaScript, HTML, CSS, GraphQL, Markdown, and many others. Both tools are fairly well supported in the developer community, and extensions are available for both of them in most code editors or IDEs, like VS Code, for example. Okay, these are links. VS Code Marketplace. I think it's the extension place. So these are links there, and this is the sites for this too. So why you should use a linter? Somebody needs to be muted. I think that linting is a way to fix problems in your code while still in development mode before your application is ready for production. A lot of these fixes can be done automatically, and you can customize the whole process to suit your team's needs. When using Prettier, you can have the code in your files formatted automatically, which saves you tons of time and energy. It's also one less thing you need to worry about in a code review, because it's guaranteed to be the same for everyone. That's very true. You don't need to ask this person, why are your indentations 2 spaces instead of 4? You just set up the thing and the red will cry for them. I'm sure everybody knows this, but it's never a pleasant sight seeing red lines in your code. Like, it's never nice. It just bugs you. So yeah, it enforces the same style and code quality across the whole team. So there are no conflicts like when you have your local setup. Also, when you have linters like this, you can include them in your what's it called? Your push process. So you could write workflows for that so that whenever somebody pushes to their branch, it will immediately run that check. So that could be one of the, do we call it, yardsticks you could use for merging code to the main branch. Did all the checks run completely? The link check, did it run without error? Fine, you wrote good code. Then maybe that's when you now consider trying to look at whether the features or the upgrades the person worked on were done properly. At least, first of all, you can see the code was formatted well, stuff like that. So this is a common process that teams follow when working on projects. It's typical for there to be a file for ESLint and Prettier alongside an ignore file. Yeah, this ignore file is pretty handy. You already know what git ignore does, right? Is there anybody here that doesn't know what git ignore doesn't do? Or that doesn't know what git ignore does? Anybody?
I know that it ignores file, but I don't understand the practical part of it.
Okay. That's nice. So when you're working, mostly we use Git now. Pretty much everybody uses Git. So you push your files to GitHub, but there are some things you don't want to push to GitHub. For example, your node modules folder is too big and it's pointless to be pushing it there. Let's say you have, what do we call that? I don't want to call it private. What's the word now? Anyway, something like an env file. You know the .env file, where you store secrets like API keys and, those kind of application things that you need to keep very secure. So you just have it on your system, and anybody that has access to the code, you can securely pass them those variables to use. Yeah, we also don't want to push that to GitHub. Some other little files here and there that you create, you feel these are just, for your laptop or device alone. They shouldn't be public. They shouldn't be in GitHub. So you put those file names or folders in your git ignore file. And anytime you are pushing to GitHub, Git will not touch those files. Do not check them. So that's what the git ignore does. So ESLint and Prettier also have their own ignore files. Something like .prettier ignore, .ESLint ignore. I think that's how it goes. So those files, whenever you put, a file name or folder in there, it will ignore checking those files. So when you run ESLint to check, do I have errors in my code, like formatting errors or that kind of error in my code, it will not check those files. It will check all the other files instead.
What I want to ask, this Prettier and ESLint, you use either one, is that you're using ESLint or you're using...
Weird thing. We use them both at the same time. Yeah, we use them both at the same time.
The second thing, do I need to pay before I can use a Prettier and ESLint?
Those are very, 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 very free things. There is nothing like premium version for them.
Okay, so I can just go to in my Visual Studio Code now. All those extensions, I will just say Prettier and just install it.
Well, yeah, there are extensions for Prettier and ESLint, but frankly, okay, I'll try to follow this setup here because I stopped VS Code settings, so I'll also try to do this. But mostly the ones that you see, ESLint ignore, Prettier ignore. The ones that you see, the ones that I'm really talking about, is setting it up like NPM packages to work with your code, so that anybody that joins this repo to work on it, whether cloning or however, they will also face those rules, whether they have those extensions installed in their system, regardless of what settings they put there. Is the settings for this project or for that project that they will be those files will contain.
Okay, wait. You are saying now that if I have Prettier in my system, I've
Yeah.
done my setup. If I
Yeah.
put my code on GitHub, I push it on GitHub. Anybody that is looking at that code, even though they have Prettier or they don't have a S-Lint in their system, the code will still be organized like the way it is in my system. Abi?
Yeah, like if you install this with npm, install all the right things, do the right setup with npm in your project, and push that online. Anybody that clones that code will also be subject to those settings you put, unless they go and change those settings.
Okay, so
you say, yeah.
Okay, so and okay, I've forgotten the question. I'll remember again. Don't worry, I'll remember.
All right. Yeah, the format for your main file can be either JavaScript, YAML, or JSON. I'm using JSON in these examples. Yeah. That's one nice thing about these things. You can either see .eslintrc.json. You can also see .eslintrc.js. I haven't really seen .YAML. Okay, so moving on. Creating an ESLint and Prettier workflow setup. ESLint and Prettier files can conflict with each other because there are occasions where they end up checking the same rules, which can lead to duplication. Yeah, fortunately, it's possible to get them both to work together. So I think we'll come back to these VS Code settings later. Let's try to use this one first. So on the command line, okay, this was creating a folder. Yes, I know some Linux people will be looking at me funny that I went to this thing to go and create my folder. I'm sorry, I'm a Windows person, okay? That's how I like to roll. Okay, so in our new folder now, we have to do this npm init. We're adding this -y so that we can skip answering all those plenty questions. And then we install this ESLint config Prettier, ESLint plugin Prettier. Okay, and these are all dev dependencies. That's nice. So
wait. If I want to install this, which of them are this ESLint now? I will go to my command prompt. Abi?
Don't worry, we're going to do it right now.
Okay. Because as you are doing it, I'm doing it too.
Oh, that's lovely. All right, so we have this our brand new projects. Let me just put an H1 here so that at least something will show in the page. Let me leave this open. All right, so we start with npm init -y.
I must go to a new project before I can do this thing.
Well, it's just good to do that so that you don't go causing trouble in some.
Okay.
We must. Okay. You have some existing projects you want to try this on, right? Yeah. You can do this on those projects.
I'm working on before, but if I want to go and open a new folder and start like your own.
No. Do it. You can do it in that folder. Say it's just regular HTML, JS.
Regular HTML, yes. The HTML.
Yeah. You can do it there. If you probably haven't initialized npm, so you can do this too. npm
Okay,
init
let me
dash y.
just go to the command line. Terminal.
Yeah, yeah. So initializing npm would immediately give you this package.json. We have a few things in here, not very much. You can add more things. You can add author. Oh, there's author down here. I didn't notice that. I think there's also.
JS5 now, Abi.
I mean, what?
This file that you open this terminal, you see, is I don't have JSON file. It's only JS account.
Have you done this?
No, I've not done that one. That's what I'm trying to. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in new terminal now. It's okay, let me do npm. npm, Abi.
Yeah,
Init.
npm init dash y. Init
Init.
space dash y.
Yes, npm. Okay, I've done that one. I will I enter?
You see your package address. There's really no need to enter inside Char, but I guess it's still fun to enter in there.
Okay, let me not enter. Let me just leave it.
Yeah, okay, you can enter. At least you'll see the things that will get added when we run the next command.
Okay, let me enter.
Yeah.
Nothing else in my own.
Nothing what?
I'm not seeing anything.
You can't have a package of JSON and there will be nothing.
Do you add that one?
The same folder, like it's the same. What is displaying there?
My own is just HTML and CSS file that I have here. Okay, wait, that show, no. It was running.
Okay, it was running. you know catch up. Zero. Okay, so now that we've seen it, we can move on to the next one.
Wait, this thing that we saw now.
Yes.
It's in JSON. No?
Yes, package that file is usually JSON. Package that JSON.
Okay,
You must have heard people say that.
Continue. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So now we're going to install those three packages. ESLint config prettier, ESLint plugin prettier, and we're installing them as dev dependencies. So you can either put this -- save dev or you put -D. I like -.
Wait. Should I type this npm install all these long things?
Yes, type it.
Okay.
Or let me help you. Are you joining with your system?
No, I won't join with my system. It's my phone.
It's your phone.
Don't worry, I can do it.
You type it yourself.
I not make mistake. Install.
Yeah. So npm install, and then this is in place of that -- save dev. So ESLint.
npm install the finish.
No, we're writing the whole thing now.
Okay, I'm writing as you're right. So yeah, ESLint.
ESLint config prettier and ESLint login prettier. Just for my ghetto. Yeah, hopefully you have good network, because sometimes MTN will help you to make this thing not work. So yeah, the moment you start installing, you say what? It uses network.
Internet.
Yes.
Let me check if I'm even connected. I'm not connected to. Wait.
That would have been fun. All right, so when you install packages, you notice a few changes. You get the node modules folder. This folder always has plenty of things inside. Even if you just install one thing, you'll still see plenty of things. And that's because the packages you are using are also using packages. And those packages are probably also using packages. And so even though we installed just 3 things, this is what we have. There's plenty of things. That's why people like to yab developers. We don't used to code anything. We just stay and be using what people have done before.
What
Yeah.
what people have done before, if you did not understand what they have done before, you cannot use it. That's
Such is life. Don't worry. People like to talk as they want to talk.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
also get this package lock.json. So this one, well, it's more of a deeper record of all the packages you have and the packages those ones are needing, that kind of thing. Yes, that kind of thing. This package.json does show you some, like we see now, we installed ESLint. This is the version that was installed. Installed this one. This is the version. Installed this one. This is the version. It's just a small record of what you installed. Package log.json is a bigger record. It's a deeper record. It's always, just like the node modules, it's always long. We only installed 3 things, but see how much we're seeing.
my own is doing a npm 1. Wait till
Hello.
Yeah.
Afternoon, all.
I didn't get you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear
I
me?
can hear you, Simon.
Okay, so please, what's happening now? I'm just joining the call and I don't really understand what they are doing.
What made you come now? Eh?
Hello, no, like, what are you installing? I just want to get an overview of what is going
No,
on.
I just want to know why you're coming now.
Is it that is
Eh?
what
worry, I
happened
will
is
still
that
answer your question, but I just want to know why you're
okay.
coming now.
I went out now, so I've been trying to rush back home, but traffic and all that did not allow me to do this thing on time. That's all. Hello.
Boss Eddie, are you there?
Maybe he's speaking another call. Simon, we are trying to do something. We're trying to install Prettier and ESLint. If you can see the message, I mean, the
Yes.
link that he dropped, maybe you can use that to follow. There's a link in the message. So, Marcia, have you done it?
I have done it, but look at what I'm seeing here is let me tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing npm 1 but they now say unsupported engine. Then it went down, and now said added 97 packages and audited 98 packages in 33 seconds. 26 packages are looking for funding. I don't want to consign me.
Don't mind them. Sorry, I beg. My phone picked me out. I don't know what's up. Okay, so anyhow, let's just use this chance and fill this attendance form so that my
Okay, but Eddie, see,
yeah.
this thing, you know, said that found zero vulnerabilities. NPN notice, NPN notice new major version of NPN available. What's that? Does it mean mine as I did?
Yeah. Forgotten how they even update. Anyway, you can check later how to update NPM. Is there even a need for that? But yeah, the attendance form is in the chat, so just fill that quickly, like 2 minutes. Let's move on. So for the guy that was asking earlier, Simon, if you are still here. Well, today is a clean code. So the lesson is kind of over. We're just looking at setting up code linter and formatter. So
Okay, okay,
ESLint and Prettier. So we're
okay.
just doing that
So
vanilla.
okay. So I just wanted to be sure that is it that the class is over or people are just about starting. That's why I was asking.
The real part of the class is over. This is more something more practical.
Okay.
So don't
Okay,
forget,
now.
please, sharply, this is 23, so 425 will continue the lesson. There's a form in the chat. So just quickly fill that. Let's continue. All right, are we done filling?
Yes, I've finished filling my own.
Okay, nobody is saying no, so silence is consent. Everybody has finished. So we continue. So the next step over here is to run this npm. Is it really npm init? I would have thought it would be npx init. But let's try npm init first and see. Usually it's npx that we use to run this kind of things. Npm init as eslint/config. Okay, it really was npm. So you need to install the following packages. Yeah. Okay, so we begin to get a bunch of questions. How would you like to use ESLint? So I'm going to take the third option. To check syntax, find problems, and enforce code style. What type of modules does your project use? JavaScript modules, imports, exports. What did I do? Think now. This is what I did. So, are we on the same page?
Yes, I think I network is not good.
That's sad. And she go meet us for front. Okay, so what type of modules does your project use? JavaScript modules is what I'm going to go with because, at the end of the day, I want to do imports, exports, and not require. I don't like to do require. So JavaScript modules. What framework does your project use? None of these. Does the project use TypeScript? No. Where does your code run? Let's say Node. Browser, Node, browser, Node, browser, Node, browser. Let's go with browser. This is actually front-end code. So what style guide do you want to use? Airbnb is the more popular. Oh, we only have these three options. That's nice. So Airbnb it is. So all these options we're picking up are going to show up in the ESLint config file. So because of these configs we've selected, it's going to install a few more packages. So yes, I'd like to install them, and I use npm.
Why is this thing making me sleepy?
Because you don't get patience, that's why. Hannah, where's our birthday cake?
Here's my birthday gift.
Cake first before the gift start coming in, Hannah.
Beautiful. Sam, a handshake for you. I mean.
Who made the rules?
The rules are just there. Let's not talk about who made what. They're just there.
Shebi, you said my birthday gift will be next year. Come and eat cake next year too now.
Wow. Why now? John, I'm not seeing your AI again. What happened to it?
I think I've exhausted the number of minutes allotted to me for the month.
For the month. Okay, that's good. The month is ending. So,
Yeah, like I've had it record a lot of meetings this month already. So I think the limit is 300 minutes.
that's
So
not
once
very
that's
long.
filled,
I mean,
I
just
think it's done.
one, like 300 minutes
That's
is
like
five. Is 5 hours.
hours.
That's not very long.
Yeah, that's like 5 meetings.
Yeah, or even less safe, because one of these things that we do is like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
All
can't
right,
me
so
like upgrade to premium, sir.
okay, you see how they used to trap people. You can't add the SAR. Don't worry, my head cannot swell. My head cannot. It's not me. You do that one too. All right, so it's it's done installing. You can see it added a bunch of other, what do they call those things? Other dependencies aside from the original ones we included. And we also have this eslints.config.mjs. Is this what I was expecting to see? Okay, anyway, let's go back here. Okay, so now we install Prettier. Save exact. That's the first time I'm seeing this one. I'm pretty sure I picked JSON, right? Over here. Oh, that JSON, please. There was no question I asked for JSON. That's sad.
Maybe because
Is that? Because I was expecting to see an es.eslinks rc.json, but I'm not seeing that. I didn't get this question. Airbnb was the last on this side. Airbnb was the last. Asking me for JSON. I don't know. We might have to create that ourselves. But there's going to be so much that should be inside. So now that means we need to go around looking for what should be inside. Or, I could go ask my dear friend. So I have a Vanilla.js project. And I want to have ESLint and Prettier installed. What should be in the ESLint RC that's JSON file. Lovely, lovely. This is what I kind of want to see. Alright, so anyway, let's just look at what we have here. So env specifies the code it will run in browser. Okay, browser true indicates the code will run in the browser. ESLint 2021 specifies that your code can use ES 2021 features. Extends allows you to use ESLint plugins. So we have ESLint recommended, then plugin Prettier recommended, / recommended. And then parser options specifies the ECMAScript syntax we're using. So 12 corresponds to 2021, and source type module indicates we're using ES modules. That means, import, export, blah, blah, blah. And then rules. Yeah, allows you to define custom ESLint rules or override existing ones. Okay. So in our newly created this, we can go add this. So anyway, back over here, this guy was talking of something. Yeah, so after installing Prettier, we'll need to add this to extends. Okay, I guess this is when we'll have this plugin Prettier recommended. Airbnb base. But first of all, let's do this. npm install prettier. Yeah, setups are hardly ever pretty. So extends, we already have plugin prettier recommended, and we have ESLinks / recommended. So we're just going to add this Airbnb base. But now, one thing that you should always remember is that this plugin prettier, everywhere it's in this extends place, it should always be last, or you have issues. So we're going to put Airbnb base under ESLinks / recommended.
Have you guys gone far?
Probably, maybe.
Okay.
So Airbnb base. So we're also going to have another property called plugins. And here we're just going to have prettier. Okay, so next, open the prettier RC JSON file. I think he means create the prettier RC JSON file because I don't think it was created just like that. So yeah, I'm going to create it and put these options in there. All right, print width 100. This means, yeah, you see this line length where prettier will try to wrap. So that means if we have, what is that day 19? Okay, this is a different place. Yeah, something like this. When the things written on the line get to like 100 characters, then prettier would try to split the line. But the moment it's less than 100, it will continue. That's the print width. So what are the other things? Semi is for semicolons. So there should, lines end with semicolons. Say true. Single quotes, prioritize single quotes instead of double quotes. True. Tab width, that's that space thing I was talking of. Like here now is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is even 5. So that's just weird. It's usually either 2 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's it. 4. Use tabs instead of spaces. False. Trailing comma. I guess this is for, objects, arrays. Trailing commas at the ends of those. None. End of line. This one is a little troublesome. I don't know how to describe it because it's invisible. Have you ever seen where you push something to, or maybe commit to GitHub, and you see a message like something about CRLF, lines ending in CRLF, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, some kind of weird message like that. Have you ever seen those? I don't know whether it's by operating system, but I think what you write in a Windows system has a special kind of line ending, and what you write in some other kind of system has another kind of line end. I don't really get that well because physically you can't see the difference. You write something here and they tell you it's ending with LF. The other one is ending with CRLF, and I don't get what the hell that is. But anyway, this end of line auto means anyone that comes, just take it like that. Well, if you put something else, if you put a particular value here, you could just get problems because, I mean, you use your hand and write a line and get to the end, and your system will be vexing for you that your line ending is not what is expecting. You tell it to fix the problem, and it will fix the problem, and you will not see any difference, but the red lines will go away. So auto is just the way to go here. So yeah, we have these, and let's go see some. So lastly, run the code below to create some ignore files for ESLint and Prettier. This is just creating, they work just like a git ignore file. Right now, we're not ignoring anything, so I'm going to ignore these. Oh, yeah, we do need this. Yeah, we need to ignore package lock node modules. No need to have it going through those files. Well, I guess we can do it at once.
When you finish this your installation now, you don't need to do it again for the next project, Abi?
Well, it's a different project with a different setup, so you pass through the fire and brimstone again.
You mean every project that I am doing, I will be doing this?
Well, that's the price of standard code and easy life. You know, easy life doesn't just come like that. You have to suffer a bit before you get easy life. So it's a healthy lesson, don't you agree?
Just I've missed the steps. That's why. What's the name of this this thing? The one that we are learning from, that we are looking at. Let me check if I can open it. Oh yeah.
Didn't you get this thing?
Sure.
I thought I pasted it in the chat some time ago.
Okay, wait, let me...
Maybe see if you can send it to your system and go look at it. Or, you know, something like that.
Copy. Hey, this one I've wiped all the message.
All right, let me go read
it. Let me see if I can copy it and keep somewhere.
Yeah, you guys should also copy and keep somewhere because I think it's pretty nice. But then, anytime you search, you can still easily find it anyway.
Okay. Copy. Copies.
Sorry, what's the purpose of this thing again?
What is the purpose of this thing indeed? The purpose of this thing is to be writing, to have something to check your code for, you know, obeying proper standards, and also to holler at you, fix your code for you if you write nonsense. I mean, fix the formatting, not fix the errors, not, you know, fix the wrong things you wrote. So let's write some wrong things, like giving a space. I feel like this wasn't done well. You know what? Let me go look at somewhere. Because the one, if it's done correctly, any wrong move you make is going to drop a red flag immediately, red line. That's the one I like. It's good to use and trouble people. Don't you agree?
See,
yes.
Eddie.
Yeah?
How that place that you did install ESLint config Prettier ESLint plugin prettier dash dash
Yeah.
code dash dev. After
Yeah.
that code, what you did next was the next step. Now run the code below and go to the full through the sector. npm init sling slash config. That was all you did next, Abi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so there are a few what's it called? There are a few extra things here, brackets, same line, just a few more things. But this is the real place I want us to check out. This ESLint. There are a bunch more things. No patterns, browser options, settings, logins. Yes, these rules. Yeah. I think the things you set in these rules are what will make those red lines to be showing up. And so I'm just going to take these. Yeah, I'm going to take this. We'll modify it later to make sure that we're using the things that are actually in our prettier RC.
Like, there's a problem. This thing.
Yes.
I made a mistake.
Okay, so where's our prettier RC? I'm just going to duplicate these. So that we'll be on the same page, you know? Yeah. So let me see. Okay, let's write a line that doesn't end in a semicolon. This troubles me seriously. It's not quite working out. It's not quite working out because we have single quotes true. We have semicolon true. Yet I use double quotes. I'm not ending with semicolon, and it's not really throwing an error per se. I'm sure if I run the ESLint code to check, I will see an error. Let's try this one. They said this one should return some errors. Because again, nothing. Let me add node true and see.
Um,
Yeah, this is very sad. It's not working out as expected. Or these, I don't want to have to install or use extensions to get it to work. That just feels like I failed. Because these other ones that the one I saw somewhere and the one I set up on React didn't particularly require having ESLint or prettier extensions. They just worked like that. Or could it be the Webpack issue? To check. Okay, so MPX links. MPX ESLint. It is an actual file. Okay, let's try that and see. MPX ESLint.
People, sorry, because I have a question.
Yeah.
After we installed the ESLint prettier, say we're supposed to save.
Save.
I saw save dev.
Okay, that save dev means it's a developer dependency.
Okay. So we're supposed to use.
Yeah, when you install something and you say save dev, it will enter into this place. Dev dependencies.
Okay.
That's just the difference.
Okay,
If you install and you don't
okay.
use save dev, it will just go into dependencies.
Okay, there's no need for that one.
That was just that. Okay, so the ESLint is actually working. If you run ESLint, it does this. But the one I was hoping for, is the active one. Let me show you what I mean. As you're writing, it's just, blocking you immediately. Like, why are you writing this thing? Yeah, see
Maybe
what I
it's
mean?
acting up to give you the errors.
That other place wasn't really reacting properly. See this one, the moment I came down, it's already throwing me errors and telling me how to behave. Yeah. That's what I wanted to see. This is the one type that you will not rest. You won't code in, in peace. That's the one.
I have bring the other code here now.
This one is React and that one is vanilla. I'm wondering now whether it's the lack of Webpack that is causing that issue. I can't confirm that for sure. My time is up and my battery is half dead. So unfortunately, we'll end here for today. Yeah, it's very sad.
Okay.
Okay.
But please, I have a question for.
Yeah.
Because I think I made a mistake when I was installing. I made a mistake in typing instead of npm, and I went to go and type npn. Then the thing threw an error, but I don't know if that's a problem. So when I now typed the right thing, the thing was saying that there's an error. And I need to let me look at the error message. It's saying that. Wait, let me see if I can snap it. If I even snap itself, I can only put it on the. But I want to snap it and send to Eddie. Or let me. So Eddie will not share it. This is what my screen is showing me right now. I'm coming. Give me. Where's my camera?
Webpack CLI. Sorry, I want to just try installing Webpack and see if that will be the magic.
Boss, yeah,
Yeah.
I think this error is coming from you having this error LF because of it.
Because of what?
Is it the expected line break to be LF? Is it the cause is causing the problem?
No, that's not it.
Okay.
This is that line ending thing I was talking of. Where was that thing? When we're looking at this prettier RC, we saw end of line auto. I told you some of them are LF, some are CRLF. You can't use your eye and see the difference, but the system knows the difference. So to just solve that problem, you go with auto, because the thing it always has. It's a very annoying error.
You can change that thing now.
Honestly, I'm just getting into the world of LinkedIn and Prettier.
No, see down under this thing now. This place you have a Prettier Coca. You see CRLF. Right?
Yeah.
From there you can change it.
Let me see. Expected it to be LF. Okay. So if I did change it to LF.
To be LF,
in any case, yeah, the line that I saw that, I think I removed it. Okay. These ones were in app.js. Okay, so if I change this to LF, sorry. Okay, so if I run that again, npx ESLint, nice to get those errors. Okay, at least those those you're right. Those LF errors went away. Now I'm seeing the other ones. Double quotes is asking for single quotes. Unexpected console statements, unexpected console tests is assigned but never used. And over here is asking for more space. There's only two spaces, but it's expecting 4. And at the end of the line here, it doesn't usually like the last line to be something that is code. It likes the last line to be empty. So that's what this error is. But all the same, my problem, the one that is vexing me, is that it's not doing it actively. It's when you run this that you see the errors. I want it to be active. Yes. Like you saw how, yeah. You saw how this one reacted. The moment I made a change, it showed up immediately. That's the kind of setting I'm trying to set up over there. But it's not responding like that.
Did you set the print here as here from the here? Did you change it, the format in the VS?
In the VS Code.
In the settings. When they change it, I think I had done it before. For it to look,
Even this one, Seth, I didn't really use ESLinks or Prettier extension. It's all from this place, from these installed settings. You know, Prettier RC, ESLinks, ESLink RC. The difference now is that this one is React and that one is not. So I don't know if that's what's really causing that. Why this one is being actively showing the errors as you are writing, while that one will wait for you to come and run something.
okay.
But anyway, at the very least, we can see that this setup that we did does work. If you come down and run this code, you still see the errors you're expecting to see. So sadly, that's the stuff. Yeah.
This setup that you did from line 2 to line 8, that one that you wrote a print width 100. What does that mean?
Print width is the length of the line.
Okay.
Yeah, you're writing codes.
When it's 100 characters.
100. And that's the end of the line. Prettier would break it up if it passes 100.
Okay, then this says semicolon means semicolon, meaning you should be putting semicolon at the end of each line. At the end
of the line, yeah.
Okay.
Single quotes. Use single quotes instead of double quotes.
For your strings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tab width 4 is just this 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so, okay, I understand that one.
Use tabs. I think it's also for this thing.
Okay.
Here, it's using spaces to count. But use tabs is saying you should use tabs instead of spaces. And this is false.
Okay.
Comma is for, like objects, arrays. The last item should just still be a comma after it. Obviously, for the middle items, there are commas separating them.
Yes.
For the last item, should it have a comma? This one said no. Then end of line. Is that CRLF and LFP?
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, I also don't know how to explain it. But anyway, if you look down here, you see end of line sequence.
Okay, this trailing comma, you said it's for objects. So
objects, arrays, that kind of thing.
So are you trying to say that this is not like, if I am, it's only for the last element in the array that will not take comma?
Yes, the last element shouldn't have a comma.
Okay, I understand now.
Require path. Does this mean I have to install path? Sorry. I want to get this webpack set up and see if that will make a difference.
It's fine now.
So entry will be after.js and exit bundle.js. Okay. Let's just have it out in the open. Okay, no problem. What we'll do, we'll still call this one after.js, but the entry point will now be index.js. Yeah, just like before. So that means these are after.js. We need to empty it out, and we're going to create index.js. And put this stuff in here. Yeah. Webpack. Okay. So to build, we do npx webpack, and the config file is webpack.config.js. Oh,
The source, you have source.
yeah, don't mind me. I forgot added things. Okay, so we have our code in after.js. Still not making much of a difference. Well, I don't know, maybe that's something worth looking into. So, it's sad, but that's just the way it is right now. So I think we can end and go home here. Abby?
Okay now. Thank you very much. I appreciate. Maybe I'll no, so sure you understood everything now. Jane, Jane, sure you understood everything. I would